There are some times when you need more than just a washer to provide support and to help spread the loads out when you're putting a fastener through the deck. You choose to use a backing block of some sort. But what material should you use? Hi, I'm Nika Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. Today I'm sharing some ideas and tips about why we choose to use G10 and not just plywood for a lot of our backing blocks. Today's episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by TeakGuardProducts.com. Looking to refinish your boat's teak with a minimum of mess and fuss? Look no further. Their non-toxic, water-based formulas for cleaning and finish will turn your teak from dingy to sparkling in no time. Use coupon code BG20 for 15% off your order of $50 or more. Teak Guard. Admire your teak with less maintenance. We're all about less maintenance on Calypso, which sounds a little strange when you think that we are a fairly traditional looking boat with a whole lot of wood. But as we've been upgrading and changing out and refitting the boat, we're looking for opportunities to make things more durable and, frankly, with a little bit less maintenance any chance we get. Well, as we've been reinstalling deck hardware, backing blocks absolutely fit that bill. And Calypso's backing blocks are plywood. The old ones were all plywood. They did reasonably well. Certainly you can see when you take the fasteners off, the washers that are on there have sunken into the plywood a little bit. So they definitely are helping to spread the load out. But we wanted something that was a little bit more durable and longer lasting, that we didn't have to worry about rotting. And G10 is absolutely what we came up with. I think we first heard about G10 actually from Jamie on Sailing Totem when we were talking about our windlass, because we installed a brand new windlass, an electric windlass on Calypso, and the backing block that's up there for this fairly beefy, fairly heavy piece of machinery is, I think it's a 1/2-inch block of G10. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. First of all, why do you need a backing plate or a backing block? They're sort of like oversized washers, if you will. And if you think of a washer as helping to spread the load, so if you've got a bolt going through, instead of just having all the load for that bolt be on the nut, the washer helps spread it out, make it less concentrated in that one spot. Well, backing plates or backing blocks do that on a larger scale. And yes, you're still going to use a washer underneath the nut on your bolt, but the backing plates just spread out the load even more. Washers, those you can find in any hardware store. Backing plates? Yes, you have a choice as to what you can use for backing plates. I've seen people use steel and aluminum plates for backing. I've seen lots and lots of plywood. And we've also seen fiberglass. And G10, also known as Garolite, I think Garolite is actually the true term for it, but G10 is fiberglass that's held together with epoxy resin, but the thing is it's put together in compression. And so it is super, 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 super strong. It's also very, very water resistant. I'd say waterproof, although I think probably there's a definition that I'm not totally aware of. The way that we get it, you can get it with all kinds of finishes and all kinds of colors. We choose to get it flat, so it's really, really easy to paint. It takes sandpaper well, you can cut it well with a jigsaw, you can router it. If you need thicker than what you can find, and I can find easily up to 1 inch thick G10 material, but if you need it thicker for some reason, you can laminate it together because it's fiberglass and epoxy, the same stuff that our boat anyway is made out of. You can drill it easily, so you drill through. I mean, basically, it is. There's no basically about it. It is a fiberglass sheet. It's just a super hard, super durable, super compressed fiberglass sheet. We love having G10 and have used it for backing blocks, as I said, in the windlass. We've used it on deck cleats. We've used it when we have bolted down the boom gallows and had those backing blocks on the underside. There's a lot of G10 on Calypso with lots more to come. But backing blocks, backing plates, there's something that are important, not for every single fastener, but on an awful lot of them where there's extra strain. Think hard about what material you use, and my suggestion is take a look at G10 and see if it might be right for you. It certainly is right for us. I can't wait to share an anchorage with you when we're not thinking about backing blocks and we're not thinking about G10 or other maintenance items or lack thereof on the boats. Instead, we're just toasting our good fortune to be out in a beautiful spot in a lifestyle we love. Thank you so much for listening to the Boat Galley podcast. We love hearing from our listeners. There's a link to both of our emails in the show notes. We love it when you don't forget to share us with your friends, and we love it when you don't forget to subscribe in your favorite podcast app. Oh, and as a side note, if you're coming to the Annapolis Sailboat Show in October in Annapolis, Maryland, please come by the Boat Galley booth and say hello. Both Carolyn and I are teaching at Cruisers University. We also will be in and out of the booth a lot during those 5 days of the show, so come by, say hello. We would love to meet you in person. Have a great week.